Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be continuing What If Naruto Had the Shield from Rising of the Shield Hero. But before we get into today's video, I would please like for you all to leave a like. And well, subscribing is up to you, but if you guys leave a like on the video, and without further ado, let's get right into it. So we open this part with everyone kind of like being registered for school. And the only reason why I'm opening with this part is because a lot of villagers and a lot of kids felt like Naruto shouldn't be allowed to go to school, mainly because he's a Nine Tails and he's walking around with with a big sheet of metal on his hand, which could also be a weapon. So, a lot of people are very safe, quotation marks, with Naruto around. But a lot of people that are friends with Naruto, they look around because they're at the registry office, so people are making these complaints in front of Naruto. Naruto and his small group that he was with start looking around, and they just start pointing out how many weapons are in the room. And almost everybody in that entire room has some type of weapon on them. Even if they don't have a weapon, they have a Genkai, which is somewhat kind of worse than a weapon, depending on who's using it and who's on the receiving end. So Naruto, he just kind of starts laughing, and one of the shinobi that was making the complaint, he kind of gets mad and tells him yo, you shouldn't even have had that shield. Anybody could probably use it better than you can. And Naruto kind of just tells him I don't care. I never have. So the dude starts getting more and more irritated, and Naruto is just finding it so funny. And then it just gets quiet, and for a moment nobody knows where Naruto is. Literally nobody can see him or sense him. So they're looking around the room for him, and he reappears behind the guy, and he puts the same shield that he was just talking about up against his neck. And he's like, see, I've somewhat mastered the ability of stealth. I can walk around you without you even knowing. And a lot of the Jonin and a lot of the people in the room were confused. And Sasuke, because Sasuke didn't see him move. No one saw Naruto move at all. And it's not what you think. I'll explain later. So after Naruto does that, he tells everyone else that's in the room that's making the excuse that majority of everyone in here is holding some type of weapon in their hand, or has some type of weapon on them. We live in a world full of shinobi, where we can be attacked at any given moment, and you want me to walk around with no weapon at all when majority of the people in my village don't even like me? And a lot of the people in the that was making the complaint kind of start looking around the room and realizing that majority of them are strapped with swords, kunai, explosive tags, seals. Some of them have Genkai. There's no way that someone everybody in that room doesn't have some type of weapon, unless they're really irresponsible child. Anyway, so Naruto, after saying that, he kind of just walks out. He tells he might not even go to school. And Hinata and her dad was kind of right there. The only issue was that Hinata's dad, although he likes Naruto and treats him like a son, he doesn't want to get involved with the Nine Tails aspect of Naruto. He has no problem with Naruto himself. It's the Nine Tails within Naruto. So when people start bringing that up, Hinata's dad kind of just not shy away from the subject, but he tend not to get involved. He just don't care. So Naruto walks out like registration office, and basically saying like he might not even go to school, or like if people, like he might not even go to the Ninja Academy if people act like this about something that's like just a sheet of metal. Meanwhile, they're running around with knives and junk. So, hold on. So Naruto goes back to the Hyuga compound, and when he gets there, he doesn't really know what to do, because he by himself, he can't necessarily train. Well, he can. So he can, but he can only train certain parts. So let's go into further detail on the move that he used earlier. Naruto, hold on. I'm so sorry. My allergies are fucking with me. Give me a second. Alright. My bad. Like, legit, I'm gonna get right back into the story. But all, like, my mouth and my nose was just... I couldn't breathe. That's all I'm saying. I just couldn't breathe. So, like, he gets back to the Hyuga compound, and let's go right back. Okay. So the ability that Naruto used, since he isn't able to use since he isn't able to actually deal a lot of damage unless he's smacking somebody with the shield or punching them, he started learning how to do, like, just disappear basically. And it's weird because a lot of people, like a lot of shinobi, although this world is based off shinobi, not a lot of people have even attempted to try to learn the technique like the one Naruto created. It's basically like if you played Assassin's Creed and you're in a crowd, you know what I'm talking about. They can basically just put their heads down and keep it pushing. And what Naruto's is if he infuses, like if he uses chakra with his like steps, and the way, if he makes like a small bubble of chakra around him, it deflects everything else. Like no one can sense him or see him. Like their line of sight's completely cut off. And Naruto could just walk around the room as freely as he wants to, but he can't do that often. He's working on it. So Naruto, he starts using the moves and junk. Like he starts specifically working on that move because, well, later. So Naruto, so when Hinata and Hinata's dad gets back to the Hyuga compound, they tell Naruto that he was registered for school and that he's going, and that if he is to have any problems, let them know. And Naruto, knowing what Hinata's dad does when people talk about him and the Nine Tails, he kind of just he's like, not if it's about the Nine Tails though, right? And Hinata kind of looks at Naruto like, you really just said that? Like, no, let me speak. And Hinata's dad was like, whoa, Hinata? And Naruto was like, is there some type of issue? And Hinata kind of just tells him like, you can't keep bringing that up. That's not like, yeah, the Nine Tails is something that you can't control, but that doesn't stop us from being angry or afraid of the Nine Tails that just so happens to be inside of you. And Naruto was like, but this village was the people who sealed it inside of me, Hinata. They're the ones who ruined my life. Your father, one of the village elders, or someone that has good ties with the village elders, allowed this to happen. You're if anything, Hinata, I could blame y'all for all of this. And Naruto just goes into his room and he kind of just slams the door and he doesn't come out for the rest of that day. And Hinata, although she's not angry with Naruto, but now she's conflicted because she doesn't she feels like what she said should have been said, because Naruto does like taking jabs at Hinata's at Hinata's dad when it comes to the Nine-Tail situation. But she's kind of like, okay, maybe I shouldn't have said it, because now we don't know what Naruto's doing. But a few days pass and Naruto leaves the room and it seems like everything's fine. But Naruto's just a little standoffish with Hinata, which is confusing because Hinata never really thought Naruto would take what she said this seriously. So after I'm gonna say a few more days of them Naruto giving Hinata the silent treatment, basically, Naruto tells Hinata that maybe she should get stronger in her own way. And this just kind of comes out of nowhere. And Hinata she turns around and she's like, what do you mean by that? And Naruto's like, no, I'm just realizing that you're not as strong as we are. Us, as in your brother Sasuke, not your brother, but Neji, Sasuke, the people that are supposed to be in our class. Right now, what I've seen, you're not, up to snuff, because this version of Hinata, well, no, let's say she's trained. Yeah, I think I made her train. That's the fucked up part. I probably don't even remember that. Anyway, I think I made her train, so I'm just gonna say she's stronger. So just forget the whole part that I just started. So Naruto walks up to Hinata and tells her they should train. And Hinata basically tells him did you forget that the shield is basically just gonna block everything that I throw at you? And Naruto was like, yeah, you just gotta train to move your fingers faster. And Hinata thinks about it, and he's not necessarily wrong. The only issue is that they start school the next day. And Naruto was like, well, we better start now. And it's early in the day. So they start training, and Hinata's dad kind of just sees it. After the kind of sort of argument that they had, he expected them not to, be as friendly as they are now. And he, Hinata's dad gets an Anbu member in his house. An Anbu member walks into his house and tells him that Hiruzen wants to see him before anything else happens. And Hinata's dad was like, what do you mean before anything else happens? And the Anbu member just tells him no, you have to come with us. We can't discuss this out in the open. So, realizing the severity of the situation, he gets up and leaves with the Anbu member. And when they get to the location that they're supposed to be in, it's this small little, well, it's not a small area, but it's this underground type of room. And it's covered in Anbu members and only a select few of the elders from the Leaf Village. And it's Hiruzen there as well. Danzo isn't there. So he tells Hiruzen tells Hinata's dad that Naruto is in danger. We might have to keep a closer eye on Naruto because of, and before he could finish his sentence, Hinata's dad chimes in and he's like, the shield is he's gaining a lot more. He's gaining more and more enemies by the day. Every time he seems to improve with that shield. And that stunt that he pulled at the registration office for the academy with his new stealth ability or his stealth technique, it doesn't help the situation. So Naruto, after training with Hinata for a bit, I'm gonna say 5 or so hours with like her hands. He tries to teach her the stealth technique that he knows. So he tries to get her to just basically just be able to blanket herself in chakra. And then try to like, he doesn't know how he does it neither, but, well, he does, but I don't fucking know. Listen, shut up, I'm tired, okay? Fucking jet woke me up. I live right next to an airport, and the fucking military be flying jets over my fucking house. And you should be breaking the sound, but this shit is loud, and it's fucking terrifying in the morning. Fuck, bro. Anyway, so, damn, hold on. So, yeah, Naruto starts trying to teach Hinata the stealth ability. And when she gets, like, to a decent point, like where Naruto would basically be able to stop seeing somewhat of her presence. So, like, you would know someone's there, but you wouldn't be able to tell who it was. And Naruto's surprised that Hinata was even able to get to that point, because it took Naruto months to master, like, well, not months, but days to master that point, to get to that point. And like, this kind of goes for Hinata's favor, because now she, although she wasn't as proficient and although she wasn't as good in hand-to-hand combat as the rest of her clan, now she has an ability that basically makes her be able to jump out of sight of people without actually leaving the area. And with that ability, she can land critical hits on people. So she starts, along with Naruto, they just start like kind of mastering the ability. And Neji is like, he sees the potential in it, but he thinks it's a little cheap. But knowing the potential behind it, he can't stop himself from watching Hinata progress and make this into like the best fighting technique ever. So when this day is up, Hinata and Naruto are exhausted. So when they lay down to go to sleep, they're not. Like, they're gone. They almost exhausted all of their chakra. So yeah, they're tired. They're real tired. So they go and they lay down and they wake up for the next day for school. But they wake up, I'm gonna say 30 minutes after school has started. And this is where I'm gonna end this part off. If y'all enjoyed the video, drop a like. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. Anyway, this has been Shinobi. Peace.